Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Syarmila binti Muhammad Sabri. My matric number is 201934359S. Internship can provide students with the personal growth experience and exposure to different job opportunities. In here today, I will present to you my personal practical experience in Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Kelantan, and next is about the SWOT for this company. Let's begin. There are 7 things that I include for this presentation. First is student profile. The second is the company profile. The third, training reflections. Fourth, SWOT analysis. Fifth, discussion and recommendation. Sixth, conclusion. And lastly, appendix. Okay, first, student profile. For this session is I put my resume. So in my resume, I attach the information like the content, education, expertise, language, profile, job experience, practical experience, and lastly reference. It's about the company profile. So before I begin for the company profile, I will explain you for the 4 link to the JPN. The first is KPN, Kementerian Pendidikan, as the synonym of the Ministry of the Education. So it is regulate the primary and the secondary schooling, a preschool and the post-secondary training in the technical vocational fields, TVET. So next is JPN. JPN is about the monitor program, implementation, educational projects and the activities. PPD is linking the schools and the JPN is for the monitor activities at the schools. And the school is for the principal and the heads of the school is providing professional leadership. So for my internship is at the Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Kelantan. It's at the Bandar Baru Tunjung. Okay, let's start about history. JPNK. Malaysia Education Ministry was founded in the 1955, marking 60 years of the administration and the headquarters of the Putrajaya. Okay, next is there are 16 state education departments such as the Kelantan, Perlis, Kedah, Pulau Pinang, Perak, Selangor, Negeri Sembilan, Sabah, Sarawak, Putrajaya, and lastly Labuan. So JPNK is located at the Bandar Baru Tunjung that has said before this at which building on the June 15, 2015. In 1922, Mr. Muhammad Ghazali bin Muhammad Arifin is been director, and now is Encik Zulkarnain bin Fauzi in 2020 until now. Next is about vision, mission, objective. So currently, vision to sustain a system of the education that helps students reach for their full potential. And next mission is to produce educated citizens who will contribute to progress of their country. And lastly, objective is to dynamic, progressive, proactive leadership holistic produce and for development and also improving academic performance at the matter of the public. Okay, next I will introduce about our service in the financial department. Firstly, about the distribution of the operating expenditure allocation warrants. So this warrant is an allocation of the money for the activity. There are 2 types for the this warrant, which is a warrant utama, and the second is sub warrant. So basically, warrant utama is for the large activities like for the school, and the sub warrant is the small activity like in the department of the JPNK. Okay. Next application for the physical, computer, mobile phone loan financial. Okay, so for the computer and the phone loan, we have a loan for the maximum for the 5,000 which is maximum, and it takes 2% of the interest to the government. So for the loan for the basicer, it have divided into the grades. So which is the higher of the grade can be more to be loaned. Okay, next is about distribute all the type assistance. Example is about PCG. Bantuan Grant Per Capita is a for shares activities, and the BMA is an assist amount from the PCG. Okay, from the money assets that are from the PCG, school can request for the maintenance of the school damage to use for the money that exists from the PCG that have been requested before this. Okay, bill payment is a task for the electricity consumption, (CMDNK). It's used for the TM telecom. So officers in charge will audit the bill for every each month. Okay, next is about salary and allowance. Here, there are the 5 categories that estimate for the wage category. The first is JPNK department. Second is the MyStep. And the third is teacher foundation for, and lastly teachable. Okay, so next is application for the approval to go abroad. Okay, D is applicant's allocations on a year, which is the person who stay in the Sabah Sarawak, whose village in the peninsula can make for this wilayah WPUA, we call as the Warren Perjalanan Udara Awam. So lastly, it's about the package. For the package, it's about the approval applications that we wants to meal supplies in the department. Okay, this is organization of the sector management. So they are divided into 3 units. The first is about the unit account unit, and the second is financial unit, and lastly administrations unit. For the account unit is generally are responsible for the financial departments like education management and management of the expense report and so on. For the administrations unit is the foreplay of the managing of the office administration methods. As you can see here, this is the picture for the financial unit organization charts. The head department is Madam V. Lipin, who are responsible for the managing for the sector managements. They are divided into 3. The first is financial unit, the second is account unit, and the third is administration unit. So in the chart here, for the my supervisor is senior assistant director Puan Farahida binti Yusuf. And the third position is about the assistant director, the fourth is assistant administrative officers, the fourth assistant accountant, the fifth chief administrative assistant, and the sixth is administrative assistant. So there are 6 positions for the financial unit organization, and there are active workers in this unit, and the 1 for the MyStep. Okay, next sections. Let's go to the training reflections. For the durations, I begin for the 20th of March 2020 until the 4th September 2020. So there are 24 weeks. And the next is about the operation hour. For the working day, it begin for the Sunday until Thursday. There are 5 days for the work and the leave Friday and the Saturday. For the working hour, we can in for the 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. So we can out for the 4:13 p.m. to 6 p.m. So Thursday, the GPNK have a half day, 3 p.m. to the 4:30 p.m. And lastly, specific department that I have said before this, I was in the financial unit. I will summarize for the experience and the skill in the JPNK. So the first is daily office administration that I have a face every day. Okay, it's about handling customer service in terms of decoration, handling documents. So the service customer is a term of decoration that asks from the customer how to fill the forms and about the product and the service. So I will provide them the phone employees to answer their questions. Okay, next is about the record. Okay, records getting data in the system. So I have been getting data in the local order. Is in the Excel. Is about the meals for the meetings, and the next is about the getting data in the for the allowance or the wage for the departments for the teacher is in their Excel. So the lastly record in the PCG bantuan per capita is in the system of the government. So it must carefully to record in these PCGs because we want to provide the school the money. Okay, next is handling documents. So basically, handling document is about check unsigned documents for the HCM for the for the salary. Next is official stamp for the approval. So I have official stamp for the approval that have receiving documents, and the punch card I will be stamped in every each last month. Okay, next let's go to the SWOTs. First, strengths. There are three: customer service skills. Second, creative problem solving skill, and the third, strong cooperations among teamwork. And weakness is poor internet service. Less of the employee. And the third is the scope job of the training is not related with the course. And opportunities. Is about well-known brands, career advancements, and the third is the interdepartmental cooperations, and the last is threats. Threat is about the currency depreciations, the speed of the technology, and lastly, vulnerable to the cracker. Okay, next let's go to discussion and recommendation. Is the customer service skills. Okay, customer service skill is about the supports of attentions, and the current consumers is can be professional address in the persons and the phone, email, chat, and the social media inquiries, and may provide the self service materials. So the customer service skills it can be as the being listener and must to handle with the patient with the customer when they ask to the questions. So my recommended for the customer service skills is we can support clients typically confused and irritated. So the staff must to patient goes as alone where in the assistant them it is important to patient with service to customer to reduce their frustration and to prevent for the future understanding. Okay, next is a CPSS, creative problem solving skills is a likely help each other by emotional with sharing story and the finding solution. So it's my experience in the JPNK, they always have problems in the task because they are very many for the task to finish. So the emotional sharing is very important to them to find the solutions. So they can be used for the using this paradigm known as the Auburn furnace that provided in 1967. The following five RASA have been accomplished. The first is the fact definition. The second is a problem definition. The third solution finding. The fourth idea finding, and the fifth is the finding acceptance. So this using of this, they can resolve the problems and find the solution. Okay, next is the strong cooperation among teamworks. They must the ability to understand and to respond effectively. So in here, JPNK is a very strong cooperation among teamworks. When they have problems, one of them will be support them emotionally, or can be as many person can support for the each other. So recommendation recommended for this company is when they have a conflict at the teamwork, they must to go together and working cooperatively, and it's not for avoiding for the conflict. Okay, the first for the weakness is about the problem internet service. So it's a very most typically of this IT difficulties, internet connective issue is arise in the Sunday for first day of the work. So it's a good idea to restart again for the computer to see if can be helped. So for the Wi-Fi can also be used when the cable of this internet have the problems. Okay, the next is about the lack of employee. Employees today are looking a way of the to deal with the stress, also which can lead the dissatisfaction and the poor work for the performance. When there is not enough to the staff, there is more work and less supervision. So for the recommendations, they can recruit for the employee for because the more worker, the faster task can be done, or they can use for the my step. Okay, next is about training is not related to the with this course. Okay, the assignments for the given by the supervisor might not match or for the scope of the work started by the faculty, leading to the task that does not meet for the understand more and may be helpful. So, but making the industrial training report will be harder. So, the range of the task assigned to interns is very essential of their needs experience. I believe that by iterating the unit of the JPNK may provide the fresh experience. This exposes them to the variety of the team in they may be exposed. Okay, the first opportunity is a well-known brand. So discussion for the people this day want to the business with the companies they already know. The people will be more comfortable. So the Ministry of Education for the KPM wants to PPT officials to constantly visit schools to identify issue the matters and immediate solution. So this can introduce them to the JPNK for the product. So next is a career endorsement my step. So the contract job in the public sector, government agency and government linking companies GLC available for the through my step short time. So my step will be provided for the any company that want to use. So JPNK must use for this opportunity to hire for the my step. So they can be made the best use for the my step to reduce their loads for the task. Lastly, for the interdepartmental for the corporations. So the last for the improve by the keeping for the employee up to date work being across and organizations department can be work together on the project for the more easily. So the good internet communication is the key for the integrity and the success or the highlights. I mean all the department have the better for the doing for the any projects. Traits. First is currency depreciation. So the foreign currency will damage the bottom pendidikan lantas of finance JPNK. Depreciation's currency may damage for the influence for the consumers dividends. So JPNK cannot to regulate the since for the currency value fluid with the economy. So for the recommendation, there are some situations that I can see in the here in the my vertical such as stable electricity to reduce consumption for the cost. And I also saw when the meeting was held in the morning, the meeting was prepared for the breakfast and the lunch. So they can reduce for the cost of the food by collaborating with the cheaper catering and replace for the heavy foods in the morning such as the quick meal other than rice. Okay, next is the speed of the technology. Okay, the brief the addressment of the technology employee needs to use the system for the carrying data in the system. Okay, giving the employees confirm the all age is a very is challenges for the JPNK for the staff. So with the help for the practical student and the master, it can be helps them in using for the IT. Okay, lastly, vulnerable to the cracker. Information security and the privacy are becoming more important to information system management because they could affect aspect of the business. Or in aspiring for the JPNK, they have a cracker when one of them use of the information of the data. So basically, the government make a recommended way to prevent for this cracker, like a change for the ties for the 10 years or the less of the 10 years to reduce for the cracker. So multinational companies depend a lot for the technology, but technology always has defects. So the top breaches and the loss are very inevitable. So companies are using for the different ways to protect for data encryptions used as a control. Like I had said before, they use all for the changing for the task. Industrial training is very good program to enhance and developing student skills and gaining new knowledge for the working world. So it's very good experience to me to get knowledge from the JPNK to know more about for the educations that are very linked to the JPM, PPD and to the KPM. So Jabatan Clinical class also have a good place for the industry trainings. Since we must to know for the educations in the Malaysia. Okay, next let's go to my appendix. Okay, so here for the first feature is about the customer counter pick out the document or the gift documents. So basically, I will be interested in the in front of the this table, and the next is about the celebration of the Hari Raya. So this ceremony for management sector, and lastly, Miss Wan Kusaima's retirement that we hold at the restaurant. So that's for me. Thank you.